moment in time.
Yep. Jumping into game number 2 here at the WCS Premier League. We have starting to the bottom right of the map of Newkirk. The Zerg player with a 1-0 lead in the series. It is
Master LGIM KangHo.
And he's up against an 8-8.
Yeah. This time it's actually the Terran player starting to the bottom left for the Prime team who wants to be aggressive.
Master Maru Prime.
Maru, when he started to emerge in the Starcraft 2 scene, was a very, very aggressive player. He cheesed a lot. He started with 11s. He knew every single cheese in the book. And then he suddenly started to transition and to transform his playstyle to play more macro-oriented games. And he was very, very good at it. But he still can pull off those cheeses. And that's something that we see right here. He goes into a build that was very, very popular when Heart of the Swarm just came out. 8 barracks, going into 8 gas and starting with Reapers. And that poor drone is scouting its heart out, but it doesn't find that one barracks.
Not yet, but it's very close.
But I think already too late.
It's too late, that is true.
Oh, actually, no, the hatch has not been started yet. So now he can make a choice. He can go into pool first, and that's what we see here. Yeah. So it was just in the nick of time.
Yep. He tries to bring a second drone in order to stop the building SG, but like you said, it was too late. It's not a normal proxy barracks. It's a proxy Reaper barracks. And he does get the pull up first, so that's at least a small benefit he has going. He still has to work hard to defend this, though.
That was actually so funny, because KangHo at this point had 280 minerals, and he already had a drone on the low ground, and so 20 minerals more, and he would have started his hatch and then had to cancel, loses, of course, quite a lot of that because of that. But in this scenario, he sees it just barely, and then immediately goes into gas and goes into pool, so a great response for him.
The bunker from Maru is not spotted, even though if you look at it from a spectator's perspective, it looks like the creep should be able to see it. It actually cannot.
We saw this build going up against, well, Marink going up against Marmory. We saw the same build from a Prime player, but I think that KangHo is much more experienced, especially against such an opening, so I would be very surprised if after this scout he would be in a lot of trouble. The bunker is of course really annoying, but he already... Oh, he builds a Spore Crawler to save the drone. Yeah. I would expect the Spine Crawler to be built at some point too.
Yeah, he's going to want a Spine maybe. Well, you know, he doesn't have to make a Spine. It would make his life easier, but he was only on 1 base, so I understand him not.
You can definitely get it and then just force the bunker back, and then you later on use it on the low
anyways, yeah.
You don't have to, you're right. Once that speed kicks in, you can rely on those Zerglings. The Reapers alone don't have that massive amount of damage against the...
Oh, that was so close.
That was really close. Don't have that massive damage against Zerglings, but yeah, still. So he can just get a couple of Zerglings out there, wait for his speed, then take down the bunker, and immediately just move on to take down the Reapers as well.
The cool thing about the bunker is you don't have to worry about run-bys or anything like that with this, because there's no getting out of here without the Reapers seeing you and also taking out a chunk of your hit points. As you can see, the Reapers still recover hit points even while in the bunker. They're considered out of combat anytime they're not being fired upon. And so he just hides in the bunker, recovers his hit points, then goes back. Depot misplacement here. We just saw just a glimpse of that. Queen wants to make a tumor. Fat chance of that happening. There's the salvage.
Double Queen is really strong, because with the Queen, you don't go into the Spine Crawler, go into the second Queen. You can use it later on when you have your own hatch on the low ground, so you have the Queens there for the double inject immediately. And you can use the Queen because it's she's more mobile, so you don't have to reroute that Spine Crawler all the time. But speed is soon going to kick in, and those Zerglings are already on the way. Question, of course, being how much damage can they really do to the Terran player? They won't be able to bust into the main base, not with the Reapers already being present there. But at least they might be able to delay that for a bit.
They'll kill an SCV, it looks like.
Yeah, he needs to move back. Those Reapers, they are just too strong. But he has the Zerglings now on the low ground, and Maru needs more units. He needs a few Hellions before he can actually break out of this small, soft contain that we have.
Yeah, Hellions are the answer here. If he tries to make a Widow Mine, then it could clean up the Zerglings, but only if he's lucky and if KangHo messes up.
Yeah, the problem if he gets a Widow Mine now is that if KangHo sees this, he sends in a single Zergling, triggers the cooldown, and then Maru has to wait for the next Widow Mine to come out, or for the Hellion to come out, or for the cooldown to be ready.
Exactly.
And he's going to lose so much time. That's why we have the choice to go into the Hellions instead.
Yep. Hellion's really what you want here. The barracks is back home now, which you can use now to make the reactor for the factory. KangHo goes for a very fast lair here at 7 minutes, likely for Mutulus. But also Nidus.
Yeah, usually, of course, this would be more of a standard lair timing, but given the opening that we had here and the defense that we saw from the LJM Zerg player, this is a fairly fast tech into lair. And it could be, as you already said, Wolf, it could be either Nidus, a little bit more likely that we are going to see a Mutulus play. especially with the army that we currently have on the ground for Maru. Nothing here can shoot air at this point. And Maru is very likely to continue producing a few Hellions and then also go into Widow Mines later on. So Mutalisk timing would be really, really strong against Maru if he can survive for this long. And also, of course, if Maru doesn't scout it.
Yeah, and Nidus is just so unlikely because he can see with his Overlord already. There's no place where he could place a Nidus where it wouldn't be seen, unless it was a forward Nidus, in which case he would have already added a Roach Warren.
Exactly, a Nidus opening that we saw in the back in Rings of Liberty that still has his merits in Heart of the Swarm is Nidus with Roaches. We've seen this in Wings of Liberty a lot on maps like Antigua Shipyard, but it's something that you can still do. But as expected, we see the Spire, and immediately the scan identifies lair and also tries to find that Spire. Where is it? Did he see it? No, he didn't.
He just missed it with the scan.
But he should know. At this point, if you see that lair tech already done, you're like, alright, either you're going into a Nidus play or you are having Mutalisk on the way. One of the two.
Yeah, he saw the lair, so he starts eBays, which is going to give him access to the upgrades, but you know, more immediately useful the turrets. Here come the Lings, now going to surround this Marine and go for a few SCVs. I really like that.
Lings are moving in right now, trying to take down as much as possible. You're getting into the main base as well for the Scout. Will immediately identify that there's already a double evolution chamber being built. And at this point, we have a great position here for KangHo to take game number 2. He's ahead in economy. He's building up that gas bank. There's the Spire being scouted.
He scouts it. That's really important.
Yeah, but as already said earlier, he should have known already that something is up, seeing that early lair completed.
That was a cute little attempt to kill a drone. It didn't work out. Became a spore crawler and got canceled to save his life. I actually think that depending on how this Mutalisk attack is going to determine who's really going to become the one who's far ahead, because Maru, if he holds this, he is getting the upgrades out much faster. He has map presence. He's denied a lot of creep. If he holds this without taking a lot of damage, I give him a lead here. But right now, KangHo's looking to do damage. The turrets are a little bit late here. They should be up just barely in time.
You know, I personally don't worry about the Zerg player getting the Mutalisk out faster than the Evolution Chambers. I certainly see your point. He's going to fall a little bit behind in upgrades, but he has the double Evolution Chamber already there, and he should start those upgrades very soon. But he wants to have those Mutalisks faster so that he has the map control, so that he's safe against early on attacks with Hellions and with Reapers, and he can force a reaction out of his opponent. So he forces missile turrets, and if there are no missile turrets, he can just attack. Even with the missile turrets, he's just gonna run past them and trying to do a bit of damage to the economy, and that's exactly what he can achieve here. It's all about unit control at this point.
Yeah. Mutalisk coming now into the natural. No turrets there, but there are Widow Mines, so he has to stay away from those. He's going to get a few SCVs first.
Yeah. So far, a decent job. Yeah. But we have now this slight lead in the upgrades, as you already said. I think it's well worth it because you get that control, and oh wow, look at the Contaminate here on the Combat Shield, actually. Really smart. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, actually, I've noticed players are starting to use this more and more recently.
Yeah, pops up every now and then, but it's still very underused, I feel.
There are definitely ways, we've seen this before actually in GSTL, where someone tries to delay a Colossus push by just repeatedly contaminating the robotics or the bay.
Even with the Tech Lab here, I mean, you know that there is a timing window for a Terran player to be aggressive, and Mutalisks facing an army head-on this early, they are not really the best unit to deal with an incoming timing push. You want to delay your opponent and pin him down in his own base instead of facing his army head-on. But in this scenario with the Contaminate, you already know that you buy yourself a bit more time. And during that time, you can just work with your economy. Because we have already 3 bases for KangHo, and he's getting another 4.
Those Banelings not too useful. I suppose he was going to try to set up a Baneling landmine trap, was not quick enough. Overseer gets taken out here, which means he can't fight the Widow Mines. There is a second set of Banelings ready to be a trap. He has not set those up yet either, though.
Yeah. Burrow is ready. Speed for the Overlords is also coming in, of course, for the Overseers as well. Mutalisks are moving in, and he's ready to take on the turrets here. No repair by Maru. He doesn't see it, and the Mutalisks are suddenly heading straight into the main base. The Marines are a little bit too late, and the first SCVs are already down.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he gets out, though. He already lost 1 Mutalisk to the turret. Doesn't want to lose any more here. Yeah,
and the Mutalisk numbers are just steadily increasing. He's currently looking at, I actually don't know how many. Let's 15. Have a quick look. 15, getting another 3. Puts him up to 18 here. He's now harassing the 3rd base. base. Really good use of the Mutalisks, but he needs to be careful. I'm actually surprised that we don't see an Overseer with the Mutalisk army just yet.
Yeah, he lost one of his Overseers earlier, and he just never replaced it. And that could be a big concern, especially when he starts to take damage on these Marines like this. And you see those 2 Widow Mines in the main base, they may actually end these Mutas.
Right there, we have an Overlord. He should morph that into an Overseer so that he can scout those Widow Mines. That would be really important for him.
Oh, he only gets one.
Yeah,
he has to assume there's a second one.
Yeah, but it's still fine. One Baneling is not going to take down those Marines. But of course, it's going to use up a lot of the energy of the Mutalisk if he can. Sorry, the Medivacs if he can go for it. There comes the second scan, and bye-bye, Baneling.
I have to say it's a big oversight that he's not getting that Overseer right now, because it could potentially cause problems for him. I'm serious.
You know, we already have the +1 armor upgrade coming in. That's great against the Widow Mines, and also if you want to face those Marines a bit later. It's also great against the missile turrets, because missile turrets have a double attack, so it actually takes down...
It applies twice.
Exactly, it applies twice. It takes the armor into consideration twice for each attack individually.
And just to point this out again, because I think it's a really important point. Well, hold that thought, because he's going to try to target down these Widow Mines. That's an Overlord, not an Overseer.
2-2 on the way, and Zergling run by,
nice.
No completed wall at the front still. Lings and the natural and the main base. This could be devastating for Maru's economy, but the Terran player is just streaming across the map. He is trying to end it now, and Lucira, aka KangHo, he needs Banelings, and he already 15. Has 24, and he's even getting more. He's going up to 40.
Yep, losing a lot of his Mutalisks here. One Zergling fights an army. That was a little bit silly, but here we go. He's got so much creep to work with here. Maru not able to clear a lot of it up, and here we go.
The Banelings trying to take down what they can. The Widow Mines already in cooldown. Great shot here with the last one, but most of the units of Maru are already gone. But the Terran player is still at 130 supply and has a decent bank, trying to save his Medivacs, and so far he was successful.
Yeah, so far he was successful. Widow Mine 1, 2, 3 going down here for Maru. He's lost his map presence, but he's trying to send the rest of his units across the map as we speak. The Baneling count a little bit low. He needs to start morphing a few more of these as he traps these units. And that one Widow Mine needs to burrow. He's got the second one there with him as well. Here we go.
Moving in once again. Here come those shots. Oh, great shots by the Widow Mine, taking down a lot of those Zerglings. And Maru is actually heading into the +3 attack upgrade already. Yep. I really liked the situation for KangHo earlier, but now he needs to really make something happen here, or he's going to fall far, far behind in the tech.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have an SF pit at all. He doesn't have a 5th base star, but he is getting a lot of gas over here at his 4th. More Mutalisks on the way. 6 additional Mutalisks are going to put him up to 18. And I'm concerned about this commitment of Mutalisks, or gas in the Mutas right now, because the bigger problem seems to be the Marines on the ground, not the pickups from the Medivacs. And he has enough Mutas as it is to pick off the Medivacs. It's just catching them that's the problem.
We don't see an infestation pit, we don't have a hive tech, he's just relying on a Baneling, on Ling Muta Baneling. And Ling Muta Baneling is a great composition. But once the Terran player reaches his 3-3, has a great amount of Medivacs out on the map, and has those Widow Mines, then it starts to get a bit scary for the Zerg player. So KangHo needs to do something now where he's at the strongest. He's on 4 bases against 3, and he has a very scary Mutalisk army on the map, but he needs to use it properly.
Yeah. Nice pick up on the Medivac there. Just anything he can, force another stem. He can actually just fight these Marines. Probably could have microed better, but here we go. Another fight, and he cannot... Oh, I like this. He wants to bait out the Widow Mine shots or kill them. Either way, he gets away with killing them there. Now he can come up with the second wave of units, and again, Maru has to run away off the creep. Nice splits against the Widow Mines, insanely good.
The Widow Mines, the shot's not the best one. The second one was a lot better, taking down Banelings, but the first one only taking down 2 of the Zerglings. Now the rest of the Ling Muta Baneling composition is just rolling into the Terran army, trying to take down those expensive Medivacs, as many as he possibly can, and a 40 supply lead suddenly for the Zerg player, but the Terran with really good Widow Mine hits suddenly.
Really good Widow Mine hits suddenly, and a good hold there. Once the Zerglings were gone to that Widow Mine, that's when he really struggled to continue the push. KangHo's reactions, his splits against the Widow Mines, his ability to deal with those is on top notch. He's really quite a master at it, and he's actually going to go in here, pick off the turret, could get some reactors here.
Yeah, and there we have the Overseer, and the Overseer of course sees those Widow Mines, so he knows exactly what's going on, and he is not going to go anywhere near them. The one thing that I'm a little bit surprised to see so late is the Drilling Claws upgrade, because how Maru utilized those Widow Mines during the entire course of the game, I would have expected it to be out there a little bit faster, and he also does not have the +3 armor upgrade lined up, so that's a little bit odd.
Maru calls that bluff so easy on the bait with the Muser. He's like,
Yeah.
why would you try to fight my Marines like that? There must have been some traps, and he was able to scan and kill them really nice. That's kind of one of those game sense things where you see that and you're like, okay, this must be a trap.
KangHo going into another base, and I really like that he is starting this infestation pit now. That helps him to transition into the hive tech and get the 3-3 upgrades out there. Later on, depending on what kind of composition he wants to use, if he wants to go into late game Ultralisk, he can also get Pathogen Glands and head into Infestors. But for now, he's making do with the composition that he already has, moving in once again against his opponent's army, and there are no Burrowed Widow Mines.
No Burrowed Widow Mines. He's trying to get those down. The upgrade's not complete. This buys him enough time, but one Widow Mine shot goes off. The second one not able to fire. Maru dropping down 40 supply yet again. KangHo continues the attack.
KangHo is moving in, and only 3 bases for Maru. The Marine Prince is in trouble. He's trying to split his Marines as well as he can against the Banelings, trying to utilize the terrain as well. But KangHo just doesn't stop. He's moving in again and takes down that
Barely gets it there, but that's it. GG. And KangHo takes the 2-0. He gets the win he wanted.
Gets the win that he wanted, and gets the 2-0 here in our first best of 3 of the day in Group... Actually, it's Group D, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yep, Group D was started first.
Yeah, I get the numbers or the letters confused.
So, this match was our show match kind of today. It still means that KangHo has the 4th place in the group and Maru has the 1st place in the group. Nothing changed, but it was certainly an entertaining series.
Yeah, it really was. Very aggressive openings from both players, and KangHo with a really strong defense in game number 2, and also just his mid game was solid. His splits against the Widow Mines, his control, phenomenal. The one thing that Maru was really missing, I feel, was that Drilling Claws upgrade that he didn't have for so long.
Yeah, that would have helped him a little bit more in those later battles. And also, if he would have been able to get that +3 out a little bit faster, it would have been really useful against what Lucero was trying to do here. But as it is, we have a 2-0. Gerard, of course, not too concerned here. He knows that this match was not important at all for Maru. Both of them are still all smiles here. Yeah. Maru is going to advance to that round of 8 of the Premier League, no matter what.
Yeah, Gerard with a very lime green jacket. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
You can't miss Gerard. Like, Gerard is going to be that guy you can find like in a football stadium. You're like, oh, there he is.
Maybe he has to walk home today. It's getting a little bit dark in Seoul right now, so he might be concerned about the traffic. I don't know. But yeah, a very interesting jacket choice that he has there. As it is, game number 1 is already over, the first best of 3 of the day. I'm not quite sure which match we are going to see next. Apparently the order was changed. Apparently we have Group C next, and that would mean... Oh, okay. So from that point on, we are going into Group A, B, and then C. For some reason, Group D was the first one. But this means that we have Zerg versus Zerg coming up next, with Su going up against Symbol. And this match is really important for both players. Wolf is completely stunned here.
I thought you were doing like our outro. I was like, yeah, I'll see you in 7 minutes. But yeah, that's true. That's what we are going to see next. We did just see a great Terran versus Zerg. I was like, Keller's doing the outro, and then you just stopped and looked at me, and I felt really awkward.
Guys, whoever wins the next game is going to advance together with Solki. So in about 7 minutes after a short break, we will have the second best of 3 of the day. It's going to be the Group A match between between Su and Symbol. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a few.